Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And I told you guys earlier today that if the XRP, major price, eruption will continue, that I will live stream yet again. And we are doing a late night live stream for all of you out there that are, night owls, or maybe it is, a little bit earlier in your time zone or so. But today we are going to be talking about the overall price eruption of XRP, taking this entire market by storm right now. I mean, this is absolutely insane. So when we check out the 24-hour span, obviously we are seeing a lot of breakouts on some altcoins. XLM was one that I kept telling you guys to watch for, as we do really kind of look at XRP. We know that XLM does follow XRP a lot. So when we really kind of looked at XLM, that was the major one that we have been really kind of eyeing to see if it's going to catch up to XRP. We have been looking at a few other ones like Algorand as well. Algorand nearing the 40-cent zone. Altcoins right now are really just erupting in price. Now, when we look at what XRP has done in the last 7 days, it is remarkable. It is up 65%. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. When things look too good, it might be time to de-risk slightly. Everyone is very bullish on XRP right now in regards to price action. We still need a lot more momentum in XRP in order for us to continue this major move. We've been waiting to see if we are going to have a major pullback and what will actually play into that as well. But when we actually go over to my Twitter, I did say, though, if XRP is moving like this now, during a bear market, imagine once we see a settlement or a win in the case. And this is what I have been thinking about for a very long time, ever since we've seen XRP really kind of start to break out. I was just thinking, we are pumping like this off of speculation alone, and it kind of reminds me of 2017 and 2018 when XRP did start to break out because of speculation on, on-demand liquidity use cases, global reserve currencies, things like that. And right now, we're kind of seeing the same exact thing. We're seeing XRP being speculated on in regards to, are we about to see a settlement? What's going to be happening after the fact? To me, I always wanted to be positioned in XRP before we even seen any sort of talks about a settlement, about a win, or about anything like that. But it really does matter to really kind of continue to watch what is unfolding within the case. But it also matters to kind of take a step back and kind of let your emotions kind of just wash away. Because right now, when we look over on Twitter and we just look at the XRP tags, you could see everyone, talking about some astronomical prices. Like here is, a price prediction of 30 cents to $23 off of just a past previous, cycle run. All of this, and I'm going to be upfront with all of you guys, and I'm going to be completely real. This chart that we're seeing on our screen right now is nonsense. Do not listen to this complete nonsense TA that's predicting this price, that price. All they're doing is using a ghost bar and then just kind of layering it over here and saying, hey, it's going to go here because look how many likes it got, right? So it's great for engagement, but for the most part, a lot of the tweets that I have been seeing are also pretty pretty good insights. For an example, like XRP is now outperforming every cryptocurrency in the top 100, up over 45% in the past week alone. I warned everyone weeks ago we could see a large inflow into XRP, and we're seeing that happen now. I actually do argue that this could very well be, a lot of Ethereum money pouring into XRP, with a lot of the discussions happening around Ethereum right now from the SEC. But who knows what's going to happen next around XRP. I will say that, but we have been looking at the price chart. We've been really kind of eyeing that 200 daily EMA, which was at 47 cents. Guess what? We broke out of it, and we broke out not only above the EMA, which I was expecting us to hit some resistance at, but we also broke out of the resistance zone going all the way back to May 10th and also May 11th. And as you guys do see, that was at about 51 cents, almost 52 cents. And we are trading at almost 54 cents right now. This is pretty good momentum. The RSI is a little bit overbought here. Volume is still diminishing, so please just be aware of the warning signs around a possible retracement. We've been discussing where that retracement could be. If we go check out the 4 hours zone right now, you could see going all the way back to this time frame back here, that pullback area could be about 48 cents again, or, we could retest some of these bottom EMAs at about 36 cents, which would be a pretty deep, correction. But when we look at what is happening around XRP, I even said this in the Discord as well. I said, at the end of the day, this is all a speculative, run in this market. While everyone is expecting a major settlement happening within the case. This is all speculation on a settlement. How crazy is that? Like, this is how fast and how much we are moving off of a possible settlement. Like, that's insane to me because, the price multiplier, once we do see a settlement, once we do see, news like that, then guess what? At the end of the day, no one, and I mean no one, I don't care if you have 10 years doing TA. I don't care if you, are extremely, I would say, if you are the best charter, it does not matter what you are looking at because a settlement would ultimately break any sort of TA that somebody could come up with or look into. This is why I say pay attention to when a settlement does happen around XRP. Because the FOMO and the mainstream media attention that XRP will have at that moment in time will change anyone that is holding XRP. It will change their life. But you could also see where we are trading at right now on the weekly, right? So when we look at the overall price here on the weekly chart, first off, volume looks great on the weekly here. It really kind of started with a little bit of volume back on the week of August 29th. From there, we did hit a little bit of resistance. The biggest indicator that we were going to pump even higher was us breaking out of that 10 weekly EMA, which is that yellow line. We haven't traded above that yellow line since going all the way back to the week of March 28th. Think about that. We have not broken out of that yellow line, that EMA, since March of 2022. That's crazy. And it was barely a trade above that, by the way. And we hit major resistance that got rejected instantly. Now, what's very exciting is that not only are we above the 10 weekly EMA, but we are also above the 20 weekly EMA. We are also above the 200 weekly EMA. And we are nearing the 50 weekly EMA. This is important to understand because that 50 weekly EMA is going to be the telltale sign. This would be this would turn the tables for XRP. Not only will this solidify us going higher to retest the dollar range, but this will also invoke a ton of FOMO into XRP. Why would it? Well, look back in time. Historically, us breaking out of that 50 weekly EMA has given us incredible price moves. I share with you guys this going all the way back to January of 2021. This is that big breakout that started the $2 plus move almost. And then again, I share with you guys the summertime of 2021. You see us breaking above it and going on a nice little tear to about almost $1.40, cents exact. So when we actually look at this, if we do break through this resistance zone, these fib levels for the most part do matter. But ultimately, I will say, if we get enough momentum and enough volume in, which it looks like the volume's there, on the weekly, the RSI looks great. It's not overbought at all. I would say, if we do get to this point back here in, April of 2021 in regards to the RSI, then we could ultimately see a major move to about 90 plus cents. And if we do break out of the 90 cents, then it is all eyes on the next major resistance zone at about $1.20. Is that possible? Could we actually, range that high? It all depends on how much money is going to pour into XRP. Like somebody did say in the comments over here, didn't someone buy $500 million worth of XRP? Yeah, they did. This is the idea. something is happening behind the scenes. And it's not something small either. It is actually something pretty big. And a lot of people did question on if it is going to be a settlement. I would argue that we are very close to a settlement. For all of those that are watching the live stream right now, how many videos have all of you watched where it was talking about a possible settlement and you've seen all of the insights on what is happening behind the scenes with not only the Congress but also CFTC, and then you do see the major updates around the SEC case. There is so much happening within this SEC lawsuit, and it started to really kind of flood just recently. I mean, the last 2 weeks alone, we have seen bullish update after bullish update around the SEC lawsuit. But the biggest problem here is the fact that, when we look at what's happening around this market, the SEC just recently started to go after Ethereum. This also ignited a major move around the XRP community of Ethereum investors supporting XRP, which was probably the first time in history. Because again, if you guys know, going all the way back to December of 2020, that Vitalik Buterin himself, said, I'm glad that Ripple is getting, sued. It's a garbage company, and the, XRP token is useless, blah, blah, blah. But now you understand that, Ethereum investors are starting to see why the XRP lawsuit is such a big, area of focus. Now listen, I will say this. Am I buying into this one weekly candle? Absolutely not. Listen, I'm not going to get overly bullish on this candle. All I'm going to say right now is that if volume can continue and if buyer demand can continue, then the sky's the limit for XRP after we break out of those EMAs. Then it's all eyes on the fib levels. And if we do break back over, and I'm saying if we do break back over the April highs, which was about $2, everyone needs to start paying attention immediately, because that is where everything changes. That is the turning point for XRP. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that $2, anything under $2 is not important. No, trust me, this move recently on XRP is still something to celebrate. I mean, think about it like this. Off of the major support zone on XRP on the weekly chart, we are already up about almost 70%. That is something to not only be happy about, but it's also something to be proud about being an XRP, holder. But also, like I said, after we break out of that $2 range, it's all eyes on the all-time high, and then it's price discovery. Now, a lot of people have questioned, could this actually happen during a bear market? 100%. This is crypto at the end of the day. It is unpredictable. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows what's going to happen next week. All we know is what the chart is telling us. And when we look at XRP on the chart, yeah, we are nearing some major resistance. And it's going to be a little bit of a fight. But I will say this. It's a fight that I personally am willing to watch unfold before my eyes. I'm still holding a very large bag of XRP. I'm positioned no matter what happens with XRP. I'm not getting an itch to buy, because for the longest time, I've been making daily videos on XRP telling you guys, listen, this is an opportunity of a lifetime that we have in front of us. This is, prices that we have seen going all the way back to 2019. All while people will tell you, hey, XRP is not going to be, worth anything. XRP is, a trash coin. Don't even look at XRP. What type of, return are you going to get on XRP? It hasn't even hit an all-time high since 2017, 2018. Now, I look at that as a very bullish statement. Think about that, right? It hasn't hit an all-time high since 2017 and 2018. Think about how crazy that is. It is well overdue for a major run. Not only is it well overdue for a major run, but once we do break out, it's going to be a historical moment in time for crypto. And I'm not just going to say, XRP. It's going to be a historical moment in time for all of crypto. Because everyone, for the longest time that has known about XRP, knows that XRP has been a late bloomer to the party. It's been the last to run token. So this being the first to run token, while it kind of leads the market, is exciting. The funny thing about XRP though right now is that, like I said, after price discovery, you're looking at the $8 plus range. That's huge. The last fib level realistically here is about $26. After that, these are fib levels that, are that, like, we're not going to be seeing a lot of these, prices up here. But I will say, like, that $26 range here is golden. Like, this would be the last fib outreach on XRP. That's pretty big. And if we did hit that, it's going to be a great time for anybody who's holding XRP. But I will say this. One thing that I'm interested in is looking at the dominance. So over on CMC, you can actually filter this out for anybody who wanted to look at this. Sorry, it's in customization. So let me actually remove the 1 hour. I don't like looking at the 1 hour. I want to see dominance. Where is dominance? There we go. So this is what I've been watching for. So when we really kind of look at the dominance range around this market, we've been looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum actually losing a lot of dominance around this market. Peep the dominance on XRP. It's up to 2.80%. Now, a lot of people question, like, is that actually a lot? 2.80% is actually pretty big in a near $1 trillion market. That's currently almost $1 trillion, I should say, in market value. But the reason why I bring the dominance scale up is I actually want to share with you guys real quick the XRP dominance scale going all the way back to 2017 and 2018. And you guys do see the dominance climbing rapidly here. We've also been looking at the dominance level for a while because going all the way back to November of 2020, this is where we did kind of hit a resistance zone. This still has a little bit of ways to go. 3.38%, for an example, would be a little bit of a topping point or a resistance zone for XRP. But I share with you guys the dominance scale because go back in time to 2017, 2018. This was May, by the way. This is not even when XRP topped out during this time. Here's May of that time frame. It did go on a major run. For an example, going all the way back to these bottoming levels here, this was about a 7,100% run. But the reason why I bring up dominance is look at how high it ran to. This is 24, almost 25% of market dominance over a near $1 trillion market. So think about that. That's almost 1/4 of $1 trillion. That would be a $250 billion market cap for XRP. And I actually want to go real quick. Let's actually go to Coin Perspective real quick. I just want to share with you guys this. So if XRP did, say for so it did, hold 25% market value over this market, at a $250 billion market cap, we would be worth about $5. Now, is this, crazy? Not necessarily. But remember that the all-time high for crypto, the entire crypto market, was about $3 trillion. Why do I think about the $3 trillion market cap? Well, if we do have XRP go on this major run, say for so it goes to $5, and it has a $250 billion market cap, in my opinion, I actually think that the overall market is going to climb a lot more in market cap because there's going to be other, major altcoins starting to run out, and you're going to see a lot more buyer demand for crypto. So arguably, we could actually see XRP gain a lot more momentum and possibly, and I say possibly, hit some major high levels of market cap in the $500 billion to possibly even $1 trillion range. A lot of people think that I'm crazy for saying that, right? Oh, there's no way that it's going to hit, $500 billion or even possibly $1 trillion in market cap. The thing that's funny about that is when you look at Bitcoin hitting a $1 trillion market cap and you look at XRP, it's a night and day difference. XRP has a ton of utility behind it. What does Bitcoin have behind it? Oh yeah, that's right. Bitcoin has a centralized network, aka called the Lightning Network, that is powering, its low energy usage and low fee transactions. It's comical, right? So when we actually look at XRP, could this hit the $10 range? We've always said the $10 to $15 range for XRP is the price range that I've been watching for a very long time. I mean, think about that. You go and look at the $15 range for XRP. This would be nearly $1 trillion. This would be about $747.7 billion in market cap. I don't think that is too unrealistic for something like XRP. Ripple is utilizing this token day in and day out for huge on-demand liquidity corridors. It is revolutionizing cross-border payments. It is ultimately revolutionizing the financial infrastructure that we know of today. So to me, XRP will always be one of those gems that I do believe that will have a $1 trillion market cap going forward. But is it going to happen overnight? Is it going to happen next week? Is it going to, happen next year? It's hard to say. I don't write anything off in this market. All I do know is that I'm prepared for whatever happens. I will always have a moon bag of XRP because, again, this token is extremely unpredictable. Nobody would have guessed that this major price range target that we just started to, head to was ever going to happen. Everyone thought we're in a bear market. Okay, we have, years to accumulate XRP. It's not going to go here. It's not going to go there. And guess what? Look at where XRP is right now. Look at the percentage that we are up going off of the lows back in June. We're up 91, almost 92%. If you go to the top of this candle, it's almost 93%. And I don't believe that this is going to be the end for XRP's price range. I do think that we could pump a little bit more. I'm going to play with caution here, though. I'm not going to get extremely excited. I'm not going to be buying anytime soon because it just doesn't make sense for me to buy. I have been buying throughout the entire summer. Somebody says in the comments, should we be holding on a cold wallet? 100%. Don't hold any crypto on any exchange. But we've also been looking at the Bitcoin price chart for XRP and peep the RSI here. Extremely overbought, which is a warning sign. The volume looks pretty good. But look at where we are at in regards to Bitcoin dominance. We are breaking out above the 200 weekly moving average. And when we go and look at where we are currently compared to the past, we are starting this major breakout that going back to March of 2017, look at this. This is, by the way, that 7,000% run up that XRP did have, where Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price chart for XRP went absolutely parabolic. Could we be building on this? Could we repeat this major pattern? It's possible, but it's very exciting though. Nonetheless, we could speculate all day on where this pump could actually take us. All we know is that we are making sure that we are, obviously looking at the resistance zones. We are making sure that we are not, getting our emotions too tied up in the price range of XRP and we're, itching to buy in right now. We have been preparing for this for a while. How many of you right now that are watching this live stream have watched my videos for the last couple months? I'm sure there's a lot of you in here that are, long-term viewers of the channel that knew how undervalued XRP was during this entire summer, and you probably are positioned well into XRP. And you are probably all appreciating this major move because a lot of you have, not only been positioned in, but you've been understanding the technology behind XRP. You've all been, understanding where XRP could essentially go. And that the entire SEC lawsuit has been a major blessing in disguise. It has given us an opportunity of a lifetime to not only accumulate a token like XRP at basically, free prices. And the reason why I say free prices is because at the end of the day, we know that 30-some cents for XRP is dirt cheap. And we came all the way down to 28 cents. Those were huge discounts. But let me check out what's happening in the chat. I want to, catch up with you guys and really kind of read what's happening. So this is exciting and all, but we need to keep cool heads 100%. I could not agree more. We need to make sure that we need to take a step back, kind of relax. Don't let our emotions get the best of us. Make sure that we are, playing smart here. Make sure that we are being level-headed 100%. The SEC is a shame. So unreal how corrupt America is. Yeah, I've always said, when we actually look at the SEC, it's a complete joke of an agency right now. XLM is doing amazing too. Yeah, like I said, I told everyone earlier in my other live stream, I said pay attention to XLM. Do not disregard XLM at all. We've been watching this one for a very long time. This one is also in a very similar state. It's breaking out of its major EMAs. The next major target here is 16 cents. 16 cents on XLM. After that, look at the crosses up here. You know, we're eyeing like 18 some cents, 18.5 cents for XLM. These gems are starting to break out majorly. Some could argue that utility is taking over. Who knows, right? Who knows what's actually happening right now? Do you think it would go back to the low 30s? To me, when we actually look at what's happening here, you know, we're seeing a lot of these EMAs starting to move up a little bit. If we actually look at, for example, this is the 20 weekly EMA. So this is actually on a little bit of a rise, right? So we could have a little bit of a, by the way, you know, just kind of ignore my terrible sort of squiggly line here. But we could have something where we come up, tap this major fib level, come back down, and we could retest about 48 cents. And this is where you want to watch. Like this, if we do get this major retest, this is where you want to start to not only prepare yourselves for a major retest and a strong impulse back up, or a major, you know, collapse through this, retesting possibly 41 cents, and watching to see if 41 cents will hold. And then after that, it's more so kind of looking at the demand range. And that's like roughly about 39 cents down to possibly 32 cents. It's a major, it's something that you really need to watch for. It's a major opportunity to really kind of look at what's going to happen from the price impulses. But just make sure that you are watching the EMAs as they do kind of continue higher, because those are like the major floor models that we want to pay attention to. The reason why I bring up these EMAs and why they are important is because go back and look at what happened in the past. For example, I shared with you guys January of 2022, right? Although this was basically a dead cat bounce before we did have lower continuation, you could actually see where we came down to retest, which was perfectly on the 200 weekly EMA. It was a great, you know, area of support. If we could flip these EMAs into support and actually kind of, you know, retest them and continue higher, that's awesome. And one, it's actually very healthy for price action too. But we've seen this in the past as well. You know, for example, you know, once we kind of broke out of some of these EMAs back here, you know, we kind of flipped them into support. I mean, right now I'm looking at the weekly, so you can't really see them, but on like the lower time frames, like for example, even on like the daily. So let me actually zoom out a little bit on the daily here, and kind of zoom into the summertime back here, just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So if you look here, on the daily back in the summertime, we flipped the 10 weekly or the 10 daily EMA into support. We kind of got this major sort of, it was a moment in time where the entire price chart was looking a little bit collapsed. It was getting squeezed here until we got that breakout, and we flipped the 20-day EMA into major support. After that, it was higher continuation. We got squeezed a little bit more between the 200 and the 50-day EMA, and then we had that next major breakout event where we did kind of climb the ranks all the way back to about $1.40. That's why I really kind of look at the EMAs very closely. Obviously, yes, fib levels do matter, and I'm looking at the macro fib levels here, going all the way back to the all-time highs, to the all-time lows that we did see on the price chart. And again, the fib levels are, you know, really kind of speaking to us right now. First off, not only do we have like a major breakout on the or on the fib levels, right? Combine this with the EMAs breaking, you know, this is very bullish for us. And not only that, but the next major fib level here would be 61 cents. If we break that and flip it into support, that would be huge. Why is that a huge area of focus? Well, go back to the summer. Go back to summer of 2021. You know, once we did break out of that fib level, first off, a lot of people question on if this was going to have continuation down to about like 50 cents to possibly even, you know, 30 some cents. We never got that. A lot of people were waiting on the sidelines to buy. You know, I'm sure that they probably got their buy zone opportunities down here, but still, the idea here is the fact that we came down, we kind of, you know, flipped a little bit into resistance on the weekly, but we ultimately broke out back in July, flipped this major fib level into, you know, support. We broke out of the other ones up here at about 91 cents and even about $1.20. We kind of got a little bit of a stretch, but it wasn't much, and then we ultimately broke down from there. But this is why fib levels are very important. Like when we really kind of look at these fib levels, they do kind of tell us major resistance zones to kind of de-risk at. Right now, I will say this. XRP looks great, but we still have a long way to go. We still have a little bit of time to go until we, get too excited. The reason why I say that is that although the price action on XRP has been very special, listen, being an XRP holder for a very long time and seeing it kind of prove this market extremely wrong is awesome. But I'm just kind of saying like, it might not be too bad of a decision to de-risk a little bit once we hit some major resistance zones. The major one that I am watching for right now, because although this fib level is essentially resistance at this current moment in time, it's not like a major area that we have hit in the past and had huge rejections off of, besides going all the way back to like this SEC lawsuit. Right, because this was major resistance during that time. We probably wouldn't have had this major reaction if there wasn't the SEC lawsuit. So it's hard to question and take into accountability if this major resistance zone is going to be hard for us to break out of or not. It still is a resistance zone, but I'm not going to write it off and say like, all right, yeah, it's a huge one that we should be focusing on. But I will say, okay, and I'm gonna. This might surprise a lot of people. I want to share with you guys real quick this time frame during a bear. Yes, this was a bear market, by the way, during 2018. In fact, as weird as it sounds, this was September 17th, the week of September 17th of 2018. If you look at where we are now, we are at September 19th, the week of September 19th, and this is 2022. If you look back here, we had this major event where we bottomed out on the 236 at 25 cents. From there, we had this massive bullish engulfing weekly candle. And do you see where we topped out at? 61 cents. This is why I say, don't get caught up in all of the bullish tweets and all of the bullish nonsense. This is the major area that we are watching for. If we are going to repeat this major price move, I'm not saying that we are going to repeat this. I'm just saying keep in mind that we should be a little bit cautious at this fib level, just going back to 2017 and 2018 where we did have that topping point. We had a cascading move. We bottomed essentially out. But then we had this massive engulfing candle, just like we are seeing now, at the same exact time frame. This is, off by 2 days. This was the week of, September 17th. Those days kind of change in macro levels, but we had the same exact price move where everyone is getting very bullish. We're pretty much having the same exact price move. And then look at what ended up happening after. We had our bottoming point during March of 2020. I would argue that this, again, is one of those events that you can't really take into accountability and, base your motives off. But I thought that this was very interesting, right? I thought that this was very interesting to note because, again, it is at the same exact time frame. It is nearly the same exact setup. Obviously, we have a little bit more of a floor model down here. But again, it's a very similar price range. And if we do repeat this, I could kind of share with you guys what it would look like. Again, it looks very similar to what we have going on right now, this massive engulfing candle. And if we do repeat this, we would hit roughly the 81 cent zone. So, again, we could run all the way up to 81 cents. And as everyone gets extremely bullish during that time, and I wouldn't say that we are going to hit exactly 81 cents. I would actually look at where we hit before. So I want to share with you guys real quick a few levels here. So this would be the area of focus more so, the 78 cent zone, because we have hit that in November of 2020 for an example, before we had this massive drop in price. And yes, this was the SEC lawsuit, but again, it could also still happen here if we did have some sort of black swan event come out. But this is also around the same area of focus from September of 2018 as well, where we did have a major sell-off happen again. I share with you guys because we still have a lot more to go on XRP before we solidify this being extremely bullish and, all right, the settlement's here, we are going to go to the moon, blah, blah, blah. Anything could happen. But I also think that this is very interesting because if you look at the fib levels, this would play out, perfect. We would get that major run up above a major resistance zone where everyone's saying, okay, that's it. We're going to go to the next major one. We're going to go to the next major one. That's it. All right, we're breaking out. We're going to go to the new all-time highs, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, we come back down. We test about 4 cents or so. We get this run up to major resistance yet again at 61 cents. And then all of a sudden, we have a major sell-off yet again. It's almost like... It's almost too predictable, though, if we did kind of repeat that. But I just thought that that was a very interesting pattern, going all the way back to 2018. Let me know what you guys think about that, though, in the comments, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I just thought that that was a very interesting, look back in time and really kind of see what happened during that bear market as well. Because, again, we did have our, topping point back in January. We have our topping point back in April. So a lot of this price chart looks very different compared to this. It really essentially is all just kind of looking at what happened in the past. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. I'm going to say this, we shouldn't get caught up in the what ifs, what could happen. Really just look at the chart. Make sure that you're paying attention to where we are, kind of weakening. The RSI and the volume is the big tail, sign, because that's what's going to really kind of give us an insight on what could happen and what's going to most likely happen next. I've always said, whenever you look at the, lower time frames, like the 1 day, look at this. You are seeing major diminished volume. And whenever we do see a major diminished volume, as well as like an oversold RSI, it is pretty bearish. But we still have to watch and wait and see what's going to happen with XRP. We are really kind of just watching to see what happens next. What is going to happen at the major resistance zones? Are we going to break over it? This would be the area. This is the area right here. So just keep a close eye on that. Trying to create FUD? No, there's no FUD here. Nobody's trying to create FUD. We are just really kind of looking at what happened in the past. Are you here for the case conclusion prices or here for the global utility prices? Honestly, I'm here for the long term. I think that just crypto in general holds a very big staple point in not only the future of the financial infrastructure, but also around many key industries and sectors. Which will hit $1 first, XDC or Casper? It's hard to say. I mean, I can only predict which one. I would say that Casper has a lot more going on at the current moment than XDC, but that's my opinion. I'm not getting caught bag holding XRP. I'm down 13K. Yeah, a lot of people are down still on XRP. Like, we're nowhere even close near like profitable points for a lot of people out there. So I completely understand where you're coming from. We've all been chasing that XRP carrot that we've never reached for so long. Yeah, a lot of people are. Where would the dollar be at in value if XRP actually did skyrocket? Just curious. Probably around the same range, honestly. The dollar has been dropping though. I actually just shared with you guys in my last live stream the dollar. It still is gaining some momentum. We still are watching this and seeing if we are going to hit that 120 level. But ultimately, the dollar is extremely overbought. And this could lead the entire market to have a major bull run as well, because we know that the dollar is notorious for being a major bullish indicator once it starts to break down. So we are still watching the dollar very closely. What is happening tomorrow? September 24th is predicted a bad day. Yeah, we've been watching to see what's going to happen on the September 24th dates. I've been seeing a lot of them. I don't really, pay attention too much to dates. We've seen so many dates being thrown out there that really kind of led to nothing. So, again, we'll still watch it. We'll still wait and see what happens, but I don't really get caught up in the nonsense of specific dates. It's a trader's market. They're using leverage. Yeah, most likely. Who knows? Let me see. XRP will eventually bounce high, but it's crashing back to 30 cents by Sunday. I wouldn't be so sure. I'd love to know what crystal ball you have, though, because if you could tell me the lottery numbers for tomorrow, that'd be awesome. But, yeah. Do you have IOTA or Algo? Yeah, I do hold Algorand. I don't hold IOTA though. It's just one of those assets that I do believe in, but I don't hold it just because I have so many other holdings right now. So yeah, as XRP goes up, so will metals. Yeah, most likely. Who knows? One major difference between the two time frames is Ripple has real customer plus case FOMO. Yeah, I mean it does. It also did have it back in 2018 as well, just not as much. But I do agree. I believe in XRP and its utility, but talking $100 to $1,000 is not realistic in the short-term future. I'll be happy if we get $7 to $12. You know, yeah. It's honestly anyone like the thing about price predictions is this, right? For an example, you know, I could say this. I could make a video tomorrow saying XRP is going to go to $100 overnight. Now, a ton of people will click it. A ton of people will watch it. I will get a ton of views. It will get a ton of love. And you want to know why? It's because everyone loves to calculate how much money they would make at specific levels. It's all a psychological play. Listen, anyone telling you that XRP is going to go to, you know, 100 to 10,000 to this, to that, whatever, overnight or tomorrow or next week, they're all doing it so that you click their videos. I'm going to say right now, do I believe that XRP could hit $100? Yes. But what is the time frame on a $100 XRP? No one knows. I think it's possible. You know, when we look at crypto, I always looked at the idea of like, okay, so you have equities, comparing them to crypto. Equities are sitting at, you know, $100 trillion globally, and here you have crypto, which is essentially revolutionizing everything. I mean, look at tokenization, right? Tokenization could essentially disrupt the $326 trillion real estate market. I mean, that's a huge area of focus. Cross-border payments, $156 trillion in value. Nostro-Vostro accounts, $27 trillion. Like, combine all of that in regards to disruption, and crypto is nowhere near its actual major top. It's nowhere near the actual value of what crypto could become. This is why I say, like, XRP could hit $100, but when? See, that's the thing, because nobody wants to hold XRP until $100. I mean, think about it like this, right? If XRP hit $10 tomorrow, would you honestly feel guilty selling your XRP? I really just want to, I want all of you to answer that question. Would you feel guilty selling XRP at $10? To me, profit is profit. Listen, I mean, I will always have that bag of XRP that I'll save for $100 plus. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to feel guilty selling XRP at $10. But again, that's just me, you know, taking my profit. That's me, you know, getting profits, but always still having. Listen, I will always have that moon bag of XRP. I will always keep at least, and I'm saying at least, 15 to 30,000 XRP. And the reason why I say that is because you never know what's going to happen in the future. You never know. It could go to $100. It could go to, you know, 5, 8, 9, like everyone has said. But I'm not going to sit here and not take profits when profits are looking really good. I see these comments about ISO 2022 so much. And I just want to ask you, okay, because obviously, you know, you're bringing up ISO 222, so you should know, you know, a lot of info about it. I want to ask you, what do you believe that ISO 2022 does for crypto? Why do you think ISO would make XRP a 3-digit token? Because I really think that there's a big misconception around what ISO actually does mean for crypto. So I really just want to know your information on what ISO actually means for XRP and for crypto. Because again, like I said, there's a big misunderstanding around what ISO actually is. A lot of people think that ISO is going to, allow for XRP to be like the global reserve currency, but it's just not the case. ISO 222 is just a messaging format that allows banks to utilize specific crypto assets that are under a company that the company is ISO compliant, and it allows for those tokens to be utilized as a settlement mechanism. So is it big for these tokens? Sure. I would argue that it is. But essentially, ISO does not mean much for crypto's value. It doesn't. That's the biggest misconception around ISO. It's going to allow for crypto to be utilized. It's going to open the system for banks because, at the end of the day, banks are going to allow for the ISO standard is going to allow for banks to communicate between each other a lot more easily. So when we look at ISO, again, it doesn't mean much for crypto, besides the fact that it's going to allow for these tokens to be utilized for settlement mechanisms, which, again, you could argue that it's going to be great, but it's all a speculative play. Are all of these banks going to utilize XRP? A lot of people think that, yeah, they will. But again, that is a little bit of a stretch. I mean, think about that. You are betting on every single bank choosing one specific token out of many that are all very efficient. It's illogical to think like that. It's a maxi mentality. Listen, I love XRP. You guys know that I love XRP. But it's not going to be the case like that. Think about it. They don't use ISO 222. They add a financial system. By default, they will use XRP to do cross-border payments. Yeah, I think that is the main point, right? Like, when we look at XRP, I'm focused on cross-border payments. Cross-border payments is the big one. Because again, it's $156 trillion. That's all we really need to go after. We don't need to go after all of the money. We don't need to, do anything crazy. Just let Ripple disrupt cross-border payments with XRP. Right? That's the bread and butter of what XRP could actually be. Because that's something that we know is confirmed. We know that they are focused on. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on, all right, ISO 222 is going to unlock the door for XRP to, go after $2.4 quadrillion in the FX market. No. It doesn't make sense to think like that. Focus on, what they are disrupting, which is cross-border payments. That's the big one. Yeah, I mean, when we look at the derivatives market, that's the $2.4 quadrillion. So it doesn't could we go after it? Sure, but there's going to be multiple altcoins going after that anyways. XLM just went crazy too. Yeah, we've been eyeing XLM. When we actually go over to the XLM chart, for an example, I've been watching this one closely. Here we have it. Don't hold till 100. Like I said, I have a moon bag, ready for whatever happens with XRP. Don't worry. I'm not going to be fully out of XRP at $10 or anything like that. I'm always going to be holding a moon bag of all these tokens because you never know what's going to happen around crypto. You never know. Let me see. Nobody will judge you if you sell at $10 mark since you bought around 20 cents, right? Taking profits is what we do for a living. Yeah, 100% cross-border payments equals interoperability, a lot of money. Jamie of JP Morgan just bragged about $10 trillion moving daily. Yeah, there's a lot of money. ISO 222 is an international standard for exchanging electronic messages between Yep, 100%. It is like a license to do financial business globally. Of course, it will affect XRP. Well, yeah, I think that it will affect XRP. Think about it. It will allow them to utilize a lot of these ISO tokens. But you also have to understand that, ISO itself does not derive value for these tokens. It's not guaranteed to make XRP go to a certain price. Like I've seen people say ISO 222, is going to allow XRP to go to $100 for an example. It's just not like people actually think that once ISO goes live, that XRP is going to $100 overnight. Like that's the flip of the switch. That's the end goal. We're done. XRP is gonna retire everyone. Like it's just not a logical statement. But again, that's why I've always said, like, focus on the big picture here, which is always, going after the $156 trillion market, the cross-border payments, because we have been expanding rapidly within that area. On-demand liquidity corridors are launching every single day. The value behind XRP still lies within the on-demand liquidity mechanism and the cross-border payments. So let me see. Most of you will sell and get priced out. Don't be surprised which retailers can't buy back and due to exchange issues. I mean, you'll most likely be able to buy on Ledger. I mean, Ledger also has a buy mechanism. You don't really need to rely on exchanges too much. OTC Desk also do provide a lot of buying opportunities as well. What other cryptos are going after the derivatives? There's a few of them. Even XDC is actually focused on them slightly. They haven't made a full-on announcement, but through Impel they could do so. XLM is also trying to go after a few areas. Derivatives also account for a large portion of a lot of the money that we do talk about on a day-to-day basis as well. Kind of takes into accountability all of the money. There's a few other tokens that are kind of doing it as well, not in the same way that XRP is, because XRP, the idea around it is it's more so of a community initiative, right? The XRP community has come up with this idea that XRP will move all of the money. It's, again, like I said, you are betting on every single other token in this space, XLM, Algo, all of these other major tokens. You are betting on all of them failing and XRP being the chosen one. Now, what probability chance do you think that actually holds up? Do you think it's a 50% chance? Do you think it's a 80% chance? I mean, think about that. There's going to be private and public players. This is why I say that quant is 100%, useful. It's 100% needed, right? So when we look at quant, quant is going to bridge all of the DLTs together, and it's going to bridge it to the legacy system. Again, that's why I say, like, pay attention to the private players as well. It's not just about what Ripple is doing with XRP. Yeah, we've looked at Project Dunbar. It's interesting. I think a lot of people thought that it was an XRP killer, but it really wasn't. Yeah, I mean, Swift has connections to 11,000 plus financial institutions. It would be huge, but it's going to take time. A lot of this does take time. Investing Crow or QNT. I've been focused on QNT for the most part. QNT is always going to be like a big winner in my book, just because I'm focused more so on the long term here on a lot of these tokens. So yeah, all going after different things. Yeah, exactly, and that's why I say, like, all of the money is not going to be like, it's not going to be the idea of like XRP settling every single dollar that is getting transacted on a day-to-day basis. Like, there's going to be multiple DLTs in the plain system. There's going to be private and public players. It's just, listen, there's so much technology in this space that there's not just going to be one big player. And yeah, they're not trying to replace Swift at all. In fact, they actually want Swift to utilize XRP. They want Swift to be utilizing the on-demand liquidity mechanism, because at the end of the day, it will make the system extremely efficient, and you will see a lot of money pouring over the on-demand liquidity mechanism through it, because it's 11,000 plus financial institutions, so it's a huge area of focus. I think that this is market FOMO. Hopefully XRP can find a steady support, take rest, and then grow again. Yeah, that's what we are watching for. Like, we're trying to see where XRP is going to settle down at, build a floor, and then have that higher continuation. I mean, even on the lower time frames, like on the 4-hour, you're really kind of starting to see, us being into like an overbought area, and then like the actual volume diminishing. So we are still waiting to see if we are going to have that turnaround event where we will have that pullback, and what range we will actually pull back to. But we are watching this. I mean, it's still very exciting. Like, listen, even if we do have that turnaround event where we do come back down to test some nice lows, this is still a very exciting time to be an XRP holder. XRP will be the first clarity. XRP is the liquidity banks borrow XRP from Ripple, XRP escrow holding. Yep. Right. Thank you. Hope we crack 61 cents and find some support. Yeah, that would be the most bullish area. Is XRP flipping this fib level up here into support? That would be the biggest play around XRP in regards to price action. Like that would solidify us going much higher to 90 cents. Because between this area up here, so let's actually go to like the higher time frames. For example, we'll just look at the 4-hour for an example. Let's go back a little bit in time here. So after 61 cents, there's a few areas that we need to really kind of break over, but most of these are plays that we've seen in a downtrend, that did kind of essentially break below EMAs. What we are looking at though is what's going to happen once we break out above the 61 cent zone, because from there we could hit resistance at a few levels. More so, you can kind of see it on the weekly. Let me actually go to the weekly just to kind of show you guys those levels. So here's the 61 cent zone. From there on the weekly, the only major resistance zones that I actually really kind of see are around the 80-some cent zone, which again would play into what I just said earlier, going back to the November timeframe, or I should say the September timeframe of 2018. It would kind of have that effect where we do come back down, test a major low, and then kind of build a floor model at that point, which again is still very bullish. In fact, it's actually very healthy for price action to play out like that. What we are seeing right now on XRP is not technically healthy, just because it's a little bit of an overreach. We would like to kind of build out a floor and then kind of have that major move. That's why, like on the daily, what we are seeing down here, right? Like this is bullish because you're seeing, not too crazy of volume. Like we're not seeing a major spike in volume. You're still having that sideways momentum. You're building out that floor. You're seeing a lot of volume on this next major candle, so it's going to push it higher. But then after that, you do see the volume diminishing a little bit. We see still that major floor being built, but these engulfing candles here are a little bit of it's almost like a trap, right? It gets people in to have that major trap to kind of unload on them in regards to their bag. So that's what we are watching for at this current moment in time. So that's what we really kind of look at. He was bullish on EWT like QNT. We still are definitely looking at Energy Web token. I have been accumulating it. I'm pretty sure that you've probably seen that on Twitter as well. I know that you are, very adamant on, Energy Web token. I think that it is very bullish. I think that the World Economic Forum announcement was pretty cool. Also, when we look at what XRP, is doing, the reason why XRP is so green and the reason why Ripple is sustainable is because of what Energy Web token has done for them through their technology advancements with the Crypto Climate Accord. So I'm very bullish on the Energy Web token, and I think that it is very special. It's losing steam, looks like a fake out. Yes, that's what I have been looking at. A lot of people do think that it is FUD, looking at these, higher time frames, looking at the volume, seeing the volume diminishing while the RSI is a very, outreached RSI. It's overbought. A lot of people think that it's FUD when you point those things out, but they're also the same people that will, say, wow, maybe I should have paid attention. But hey, it is what it is. To me, when we look at XRP, we could still see some fake out runs on XRP above 61 cents to all the way up to this, 90 some fib level. And then after that, it's okay, what's going to happen next? So anywhere up here, so anywhere in between this level up here, this would be a worrisome area. This would be the area that we focus on. Okay, what's going to happen? Are we going to have this major pullback? Are we going to have, a major crashing formation? That's what we are focused on. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, guess what? Like, listen, I could easily make a video. I just recently said this as well. I can make videos where I use these tweets where I'm like, okay, XRP from 2017 to 2018 did this 60,000 almost percent run. Okay, XRP is 100% going to $182 because I just did the same exact price move here and I just overlaid it here and said, okay, yep, that's good TA. That's where we're going. It's illogical for me to do this, and it's not realistic at all. This is not going to happen like this at all. I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. Like, this is not going to, repeat the same move. The same exact reason why I say, like, these charts like this, where they just overlay the bars graph and say, yep, this is what's going to happen. It's not good TA. This is not logical at all, and it's not realistic. When we look at XRP, one thing that does stand out to me is if we zoom out, okay, we look at where we are now, we're still seeing that diminished volume. We've seen huge volume spikes before as well, where it was in a very bearish price action move. But one thing that stands out to me is going back to that 2018 time frame, and we look at what we've seen back here, where we had these major bullish engulfing candles, where everyone, okay, XRP is going to go on a major tear again. Get ready, guys. It's going crazy. We had these huge outreaches in price. And then you do see the diminished volume while still kind of holding on to that price action move. But ultimately, you did see what will happen after. This is why I say I'm not getting caught up in these major bullish trend lines and, major, price action movement charts where it's saying XRP is going to go to $30 and it's going to go to $180 in the next cycle. Like, it's just illogical for me to even listen to those types of charts, because it doesn't make sense at all to look at them and say, yep, that looks very realistic. I'm going to prepare for the $180 XRP. Individuals will only get hurt from tweets like that. The reason why they are pushing tweets like that is because of the amount of engagement that they have on them. So please just be aware of that. And yes, we are in a bear market. I love to see, just answers like that. We are still in a bear market. Don't get too excited. And that is exactly what it is. Again, listen, at the end of the day, you got to be aware of what's really happening on, in crypto. A lot of people will say you can't do TA on assets like XRP. You still can. Listen, we're not in a utility-driven market just yet. We're not in an area of, okay, XRP is being utilized, so XRP is going to $10, by next week. We're not in a market like that. Follow the end goal data that we have. And the end goal data that we have is that volume is diminishing, okay? Volume is diminishing while price is still rising, which is a bearish indicator. RSI is overbought, all while we still are seeing the bearish, volume diminishing and the price increasing. Historically, in regards to patterns, every single time that we have seen this, we have seen the price fall, which is why I say make sure that you are not getting too caught up in FOMO and you're not getting too caught up in emotions. Okay? So when we look at things happening around this market, do not play into your emotions. Do not FOMO in. Do not listen to the people saying XRP is going to $1,000 overnight just because they want it to go to $1,000 overnight. So, hey, listen. You guys don't need to listen to anything that I'm saying. All you guys can have your own agenda. Like, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you to listen to me. I'm just telling you guys what I personally see. You know, like when we really kind of look at XRP right now, you know, the price action has been very exciting. But a lot of people are wondering, when is it going to stop? To me, you know, I do think that it will stop once we see, you know, volume diminishing greatly, and then we start to see negative volume, which we have seen in the past. Again, I share with you guys the 2018 September price action because it's very similar. So, hey, it is what it is. But with that in mind, if we do see any more excitement around the price chart, so far it has been kind of cooling off a little bit. Definitely watch the 61 cent zone. That's going to be the pivotal moment in time for XRP. If we can get what happens when negative volume, it's just like you'll see a major sell-off. Like, you know, some of these, like this is not a ton of negative volume, but if you look back in time, you could really kind of see negative volume. I shared with you guys this going back to December of 2020. Like here is some major, you know, sell volume. You could see the crashing formation. That's what, you know, you want to pay attention to if that's going to begin. Right now, again, you could kind of see on the daily that, you know, volume is diminishing still, and it's diminishing pretty good right now too. While, you know, price action is still flowing higher and higher. Again, just pay attention to that. I will never buy into an asset that has diminished volume like this while it's still moving strong. But yeah. But with that in mind, guys, I have been live streaming for nearly, well, over an hour. So I'm going to cut the live stream here. I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. You know, we have over 650 plus watchers here. So I love to see that. I appreciate all of you for stopping by, all of you for, you know, supporting the channel. I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you for everyone that did, take a little bit of your time out to stop by and check out the stream. But yeah, definitely pay attention to the 61 cents. Pay attention to the fib levels. Pay attention to the volume indicators, stuff like that. It is really good to give you guys a quick insight on what's going to happen next. But with that being said, I hope that you guys all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. If you guys are in this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.